Hey guys, my name's Rebecca Brosnan and I'm the founder of the Halo Planner. The Halo Planner is a grid-based quarterly planner that's a whole life organization system to help you dream big, banish overwhelm, and improve every day. If you find this video helpful, please hit subscribe or sign up for our newsletter at thehaloplanner.com. Today, I'm gonna talk about the weekly review and how to do one and why it's so important, and to show you how to use Halo to really improve your performance and your goal achievement. Halo is built on a plan, execute, review, repeat structure. So the review is integral to everything inside Halo. We do little mini daily reviews, maybe 10 minutes, you look at what you accomplished and what you didn't. If you have an urgent task, you plan it for the next day. Weekly reviews, at the end of the week, you look back at the week and what you accomplished and what you didn't, and try to incorporate those learnings into the upcoming week. Monthly reflection, you spend a morning looking back at the month and trying to see your patterns of success and failure before you plan your next month. Quarterly, we have a structure of a quarterly goal setting where you really look at the goals you're working on and either recommit or pivot. And then of course, there's our annual review process, which I do on a 3-day annual retreat every year. And I have another product, the Getting to Impossible Life Audit, that is my guide for this 3-day annual retreat. So the weekly review is an integral part of the whole Halo method of planning. But recently, I was with some of my Halo super users, great clients, and one of them said, I'm not doing my weekly review. And I asked the room how many other people are not doing their weekly review, and basically everyone raised their hand. So I realized I need to go into the structure of the weekly review and why we do it. So let's talk about the lens of a week. I like the concept of time lenses. We have days, weeks, months, quarters, years, and I think they all have their pluses and minuses. The week is this incredible lens that I learned about reading Stephen Covey's First Things First, which is one of my all-time favorite time management books. And he really talks about how the day keeps us focused on the urgent. If we just go into annual planning, it's all about dreams and vision and not really connected to an action plan. The week for me is really the combination of those things where you can plan bigger chunky tasks, like maybe to record a video like this or to write a paper. You may not be able to do it today, but you could probably find enough time during the week to complete a big task like that. And it's really all of these tasks put together that lead us towards our goals. Many of our goals are projects, maybe write a book, start a business, or get promoted. It's myriad tasks over time that actually lead you to complete those goals. The next reason I love the week is because, especially if you're busy working, you may not have time for every type of self-care and relationship need that you have. But actually, over a week, you should be getting quality time with your family or closest friends. You should be able to exercise on the regular basis. Again, it may not be every day, and if we focus only on days, we miss that sort of bigger picture. So if your planning is really gonna incorporate self-care and relationships, actually the week is the best time lens to focus on. So my weekly review actually has 3 parts. The first part is the actual review itself. So at the end of each week, I will reflect on what my biggest wins were. They can be, but they don't necessarily mean they're related to my goals. It may be a win at a tennis match. Sometimes it'll be a special time with my family or one of my children. Sometimes it'll be accomplishing something or doing a trip. Just all the things that I'm grateful for, that I just wanna reinforce to my brain that actually I've accomplished a lot of things and I have a lot of wonderful things in my life. Next, I ask myself, did I achieve my goals? Time for the accountability. Please don't get scared here. Halo is not about perfection. Halo is about developing a method so that you can move forward on what matters to you. And so if I get a 0 for my goals, the message to me is not that I've done something wrong, it's that I need to change my approach. Oftentimes, I will set very lofty goals that require many hours that I do not have during a given week to allocate. And so I think that's really important for me to go through each week and be like, I didn't do this task or this project or write this paper or read this book because I actually had back-to-back meetings. And then I have to reflect, were those meetings more important than my goals? If the answer is yes, then I have to be realistic that I can't achieve the goals in the timeline I've given myself. Likewise, if those meetings are not as important to me as my goals, I actually need to take a hard decision to say no or put up boundaries of why am I accepting meetings when actually my biggest, most important tasks are not getting done. Either way, it's about continuous improvement. Remember, part of Halo's motto is improve every day. And if we don't reflect, we can never change. Once I decide whether I achieve my goals or not, usually I use a red pen for the ones I didn't and a green pen for the ones that I did. I'll ask myself what worked. Again, bring my brain back to the positive. What did I do really well that helped me achieve these goals? Then, of course, I ask myself what didn't work. For me, because of my patterns, often it is being overscheduled and I get a lot of stuff done. Actually, probably more than the average person, but it's not always the things that are most important to me and my goals. Then I write down my goals for the upcoming week. The next part of my weekly review is weekly chores. I have a series of tasks that I aim to do every week. Meal planning, plan my exercise, look at my bank statements, just a series of domestic and work admin that I want to do on a weekly basis. I group those into a chunk of time called my weekly chores. That way I don't have to be constantly remembering what I'm doing. I usually use Saturday mornings after my workout and before lunch to get all of these things done. Not always possible to use that time. For example, this weekend, I'm going on a camp out with the kids. I won't have Saturday mornings, but then I will move that slot to a Friday afternoon or a Sunday evening. Do yourself a favor and list all those tasks that you have to do on a regular basis and write them all down in the back of your Halo planner on the weekly planning routine. That way, whether it's Saturday morning, Friday afternoon, or Sunday evening, you can just look at that list and do all the tasks and check them off. You don't have to be constantly thinking of all the things you have to do. The third part of my weekly review and weekly planning routine is looking ahead at the next 2 weeks. I use the weekly layout and write out all of my external obligations, meaning meetings where I have to be in a certain place or conference calls where I have to be on a certain call. And I will reconfirm those if they were set a long time ago, or if I need agendas or papers or materials to read, or if I set a coffee meeting with someone, but we didn't agree actually where we're gonna meet. All those details I confirm. Then I will do a loose look at the next week. Often I'll write down the external obligations. Maybe I won't double confirm everything. Actually, I'll know if I have a huge meeting on the Monday and Tuesday of the following week that this week I need to focus Thursday and Friday for preparation. I really encourage you to do your weekly review. I know some people are nervous that first of all, it will take too long or they'll admit all the things that they didn't do. But actually, we should be approaching our goal achievement with a open mindset, really looking at improvement and moving forward and getting better. It doesn't help to put our heads in the sand and just continually not doing the tasks that we want to do. So that's my weekly review routine. I highly encourage you not to leave your weekly review out. I'm Rebecca Brosnan and the founder of the Halo Planner. You can buy the Halo Planner on thehaloplanner.com. And if you liked this video, please subscribe. Thanks, guys.